Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the channel and to It's All About Jade Summer. Yay! So today I thought I would do this little girl here in the woods. I've wanted to work on this one, and I was going to do it just off camera in my own time. But I thought, hey, why not? Let's just do this one on camera. It's got so much detail, so I was kind of concerned about how long a video would be to color a page this size. But that's okay. If we don't get it all done on camera today, I'll finish it up off camera and post a picture at the end. Or I'll save it and we'll come back and finish her up on camera. One or the other. This is from Chibi Girls Grayscale Jade Summer. And guys, I'm telling you, I am just absolutely in love with the Jade Summer Grayscale books. I am so regretting that I did not get a copy of Light and Dark Fantasy when it was so cheap on Amazon. So now I'm just kind of trying to watch it and hope, you know, that maybe it'll go on sale again. So just throwing it over in my wish list and keeping an eye on it. If it drops again in price, I'm definitely going to get it for sure, because I've really come to love the Jade Summer Grayscale. And the good news is, I think Nick confirmed the other day, he works for Jade Summer, that we can expect some more Grayscale books. So that is a super yay, yay, yay. Very excited about that. That will be so nice to get some more Grayscale. I would love to see their fairies or mermaid book in Grayscale. I would really, really like that so much. So, I mean, we'll see. She's got on gloves, and I just colored this skin tone. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, well, I'm going to have to cover this up, but I'm going to have to do this the same color. That way, when I lay a color down on top, it won't look different if these two kind of blend together. It's okay. It's not a big deal. So welcome to another episode of Let's See What Donna Forgets to Color and what Donna colors that she shouldn't have. Oh. It's kind of what it always turns out to be. Oh, goodness. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It is Friday the 25th. And I had set out this morning to, my goal was to record as many videos as I could that I had needed to get recorded because of Gary's surgery Monday. And he just called me a few minutes ago and surgery has been canceled for now. Yeah. Leave it up to insurance, right? Our insurance company does not cover the hospital that they were going to do the procedure at. So we are back to square one with that. He is trying to get in touch with the primary care doctor who placed the referral to the specialist to get us a specialist that can work out of a different hospital. So, you know, he's going to have to go to a new specialist, go through everything he's already been through, other than the testing, of course. I mean, we have the copies of our tests. But he's going to have to go and to another doctor and make another treatment plan and get all that scheduled. And it's really a pain in the booty because he had already requested time off work. The leave request had been granted. So now he's having to go back and cancel that medical leave and blah, 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 blah. So he's kind of frustrated, and I don't blame him. You know, this is a lot that he's going to have to do, but it's like I told him, look on the bright side of this. You never know what was on the other side. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, and I'm a firm believer that God makes sure that what is best for us is what happens. And it's like I told him, you know, it may have been a situation where he was going to die on that operating table and it wasn't his time to go. So surgery had to get canceled. And that's good with me. I mean, if that's the case, then I'm glad it's been canceled. We can go back at a later date and deal with surgery then. So yeah, I'm good with that. And I think once he thinks on it for a while, he'll feel the same way. At least I hope so. I didn't pull markers out, so I'm having to look for numbers. Sorry, guys. But we were all kinds of prepared for this surgery for Monday. But we'll just have to roll with a punch and be prepared for whatever comes of it. Hopefully it won't take long. He's very tired of dealing with the hypertension headaches. They get pretty bad, and he was really looking forward to hopefully finally getting some relief for those headaches. So hopefully it won't take too awful long to get in with another doctor, because this doctor doesn't work out of any other hospitals. And hopefully it won't take too long to get in with another doctor and to get a treatment plan in place and to get that scheduled. We have a relationship with a vascular surgeon who did Gary's mom's surgery. But the problem is he is the only vascular surgeon that works out of that hospital. And we know that that hospital takes our insurance, but he's the only vascular surgeon. So he is very overbooked all the time. He gets tied up at the hospital constantly. My mother-in-law has appointments canceled left and right where he's just not going to be in the office. So if we can avoid using him, that would be nice, because, you know, if you need to see a doctor, you need to see a doctor. And I don't like the idea of, you know, you make plans to be off work or, you know, what have you, to have your doctor's appointments, and then they call you an hour or so before your appointment and say, hey, the doctor's not going to make it back into the office. So that's kind of frustrating. It's been very frustrating with the mother-in-law with that. And if we can avoid that, that would be nice. That would be nice. That would be my preference if we can do that. But, you know, we'll have to see, and we'll have to go with what we can. And, I mean, that may be the only way to go. I don't know. I think I'm still going to try to get a few videos done today anyway, because it would be nice to go ahead and have a few of those videos ready for you guys to go up. You know, just in case I get busy or, you know, whatever, because we're getting right here to the end of the month, and I generally have lots of different videos that goes up at the end of the month. And so it'd be kind of nice just to, you know, be a little ahead of the ball game. But we will see what happens. Just gonna roll with the punches. That's really all you can do. I was finally able to see a doctor about this pinched nerve and the dizzy spells and things that I keep having yesterday. It's such a mess. I had to do something that I never wanted to do, and I always swore I would never be that person. But now I think maybe I understand it a little better because of the situation I've found myself in. It's taken this long. My car accident was on January 9th. It took until the 23rd for the person who rear-ended me's insurance company to finally get the police report and make contact. I mean, I had left a couple messages, and it took them that long to make contact. And they gave me all the information I needed to get my car fixed, but, you know, of course, I've needed to see a doctor with all this that's going on. And all I thought I needed from them was just the insurance information, file numbers or whatever. That's what my doctors had told me I would need, just so they would have a place to send the bills to, because the situation I was in was, I don't know if I had explained all this out to you guys, but I only have liability coverage on my car, which is fine. I mean, you know, I thought it was fine. But that means that there's no medical that would cover me. And I never really thought that was a big deal because I have health insurance, you know. And then when the accident happened, the insurance company sent me, you know, the refusal letter stating that I didn't have the insurance. But then the doctors won't see me because it's an auto accident. And apparently, I don't know if this is everywhere in the United States, but in Georgia anyway, health insurance will not cover any auto accident claims. That has to be paid for by the car insurance company. And since I didn't have the coverage, the only way I could see oh goodness, I didn't mean to do that. The only way I could see a doctor was if I were to pay 100% out of pocket. That's the only way a doctor would see me without the information from the insurance company. So I have been trying to be very patient and just try to take, you know, muscle relaxers or Tylenol, anti-inflammatories, you know, whatever, just to get me through until I could see a doctor. And then the insurance company called me, and I got so frustrated. And I understand she's probably just trying to do her job on her end, and, you know, it's not like she is the company per se, but she is the face for the company, so that's who I got frustrated with. But are you guys ready for this? Are you guys ready for this? Okay. So she proceeds to tell me, as soon as I start saying that I'd like to see a doctor or whatever, she goes, well, we're prepared to make a settlement today. And I'm like, what? You know, I just want to see a doctor. And she says, all right, here we go. You ready for this? I found this laughable. And some of you may not. If you've never paid hospital bills, you may not find this laughable. But if you've ever had hospital bills or doctor's bills or whatever, you're going to find this laughable. Okay, you will. Trust me on this. All right. She said, if I was willing to sign a Is it a waiver? Is that what it would be? Basically, the agreement that says that this is payment in full from the accident, and I have no other rights to anything. If I were to sign one of those, whatever they're called, that she was prepared to offer me today, and I mean, she's telling me this like I've won the lottery, okay? This was kind of the attitude, like I should be grateful. She was prepared to give me $500 for personal injury and up to $3,000 for medical bills. Do you hear that? Do you hear that, guys? $3,000 for medical bills. I've paid medical bills before, all right? I've been to doctors. I've had tests ran. I've had x-rays and all these things. And let me tell you, $3,000, that ain't nothing, okay? That's nothing. Nothing. You're getting $3,000. Are you serious? And I told her, I was like, first off, no, there's no way that I would agree to that, because I know what medical bills cost. With the dizzy spells that I'm having, I'm afraid they're going to want to do, I'm afraid they'll want to do like a CAT scan or something like that, and you're talking several $1,000s, right there for that. And so I was like, no, that's not going to work. So she says, okay, no problem. She said, then what we'll need you to do is go ahead and seek whatever medical treatment you need. And once your treatment is complete, okay, you hear this, people? Once it's complete, to send them receipts for where I've paid for my medical bills, and they would reimburse me. Ma'am, if I had that kind of money, I would have already seen a doctor. Okay? I would have already seen a doctor. I'm not sitting here. I haven't sat here all this time waiting to hear back from you guys, for my health. That's not what I was doing. So I told her that, all I needed was, what I needed from the insurance, so I could file the insurance, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I'm not required under law to give you that. Really? At this point, I'm thinking, your customer hit me in the rear of my car. Okay? He hit me in the rear of my car, and I need medical care, and you're telling me that you don't have to give me the information that I need to get my medical care. So, anyway, long story short, she told me those were my only two options, and that's just the way it was, and that's literally pretty much what she said. Those are your only two options. Like it, lump it. And I was like, yeah. So I told her, I said, I'm going to give you permission right now to speak to my husband, because I'm definitely not okay with this, and I want to make sure that I'm not misunderstanding you. So, I'm going to give you permission to talk to him. So she talked to Gary, and, she told Gary I didn't want to accept their settlement. And Gary said, can you blame her? I mean, that's what he said. Can you blame her? He said, that sounds like a wise decision. And he explained to her that same thing I did. The price of medical bills, yada, yada, yada. Gary took the same thing from the conversation that I took from it. The whole, here it is, like it or lump it attitude. And he was like, okay. He said, we're just going to have to get back with you. And she's like, okay. And that was the end of that. So I had to call a lawyer. And, you know, that's something, so many times I've seen people get in car accidents, and there are people that abuse that. I know there are. And, you know, they call a lawyer and lawyer up, and it's all about trying to get a payday or, you know, whatever, I don't know. But, you know, and it's happened to me before. You know, I accidentally barely bumped a lady once, and there was not even a paint transfer, nothing. And she tried to sue for like $68,000 in personal injury, and she tried to say that the transmission in her car was blown because of being bumped in the rear of the vehicle. Yeah. So, you know, I had an opinion about a lot of the people who call lawyers like that. So it was honestly a hard decision for me to make to do that. But I did. And because I need to see a doctor, and I needed to find out if that was truly, you know, the way things were. Was I really in that much, you know, basically is that really my only options? You know, to take it or leave it. So I did talk to a law firm, and apparently there are other options. I didn't know. There are doctors who work, I wouldn't say they work for a lawyer, because they don't work for the lawyer, but there are doctors who you can go to that your lawyer can send out the referral, and the doctors will see you, and the doctor's bills are paid once a case is settled. That's when the doctor will submit all his bills and get his payment. So they'll see you. They'll see you without payment until they get payment from the insurance. So that's the route I had to take. But all of this pain and all of this, you know, BS that I went through trying to see a doctor was settled within, like, it was the let me think. It may have been the 24th when I actually talked to the insurance. Today's 25th. No, it's 23rd. I was able to finally talk to the insurance on the 23rd, get her blatant rejection, I guess. And I talked to the law office immediately after hanging up with her. I was able to get in touch with the law office and see if they would help me. And then that was the 23rd, 24th, yesterday morning, bright and early, first thing, like 8:15, my phone rings. It's the law office, and they wanted to accept the case and have me sign whatever forms I needed to sign, and they were going to get me a referral for medical. And within just a few hours, I was on the phone with the doctor's office, and I had an appointment same day. So, and it's probably a good thing that I didn't, you know, just jump at the $503,000 offer, because as I suspected, the doctor's he's put in a request for some MRIs. So, MRI alone is going to probably eat up that $3,000 that was offered. So it's a good thing I went this route, I suppose. It's not, you know, the route I wanted to go. It's not what I wanted to have happen. But it's where we're at. So, I know several of you have been very concerned and have been telling me that I need to get in with a doctor, and you've been right. I have, and I knew that, and I was doing the best I could to make that happen. So we will see what the MRIs reveal as far as any issues, working on the headaches, the dizziness, and of course the pain that I'm having, you know, in my side. And it's, I mean, it's pretty, I'm really glad that I'm getting to see a doctor because it's gotten crazy. I don't know if it's inflammation or, you know, what the deal is with that. But just the other night I tried to cook. And in what little bit of time it took me standing in the kitchen, I did some salmon patties. I mixed some of those up and fried them, and the amount of time I was standing in there, it was giving me, oh my gosh, that place on my side or back or whatever that area is, it was giving me absolute fits. I mean, just horrible, horrible fits. I was almost in tears, you know, standing there in the kitchen. So, oh goodness, my hands are shaky today, apparently. So I guess we'll see what comes of everything. When I started my channel, I never intended for the channel to become kind of like a video diary or journal or whatever, but I know that's kind of the direction it's sort of went in, and that's okay. And you know, I'll get comments a lot, and it makes me, you know, I've realized that hearing some of the things that are going on, it helps, you know, it helps some of you because it's real life and you see that, you know, all this happens to all of us, and it brings you some smiles and maybe some giggles and some head nods or, you know, what have you. So I'll continue on that route. You know, I questioned whether, you know, putting out personal information was a okay idea. And I've come to the conclusion that there's really nothing about me that I don't care for you guys to know. I am who I am. And there really isn't any fear there. I have nothing to hide kind of thing. So I'm okay with that. And it was funny though when I was having these thoughts that I really don't mind, you know, sharing personal things with you guys and all of that. Because at first I thought, oh, should I really be using my personal email address for this channel? And then I realized, you know, what do I got to hide? But it was funny because earlier when I was having these thoughts, I thought, well, I don't think there's anything that I you know, would care for people to know. So I was like, you know, let me do some Googling on myself. What is out there about me? And yeah, I really don't care for anybody to know anything that there is to find out. There's nothing real impressive there. But it was kind of freaky. I found a... Okay, you guys ready for this? I found an obituary for a Donna Norton. And out of curiosity, I opened it up. Now, Norton's my married name, okay? So, it wasn't anything too crazy, but it was enough. It was weird. It was really, really weird. This lady had passed away a couple years ago. This Donna had passed away a couple years ago. And, you know, it's one of those curiosity things. So I clicked the obituary and read it. And, kind of took my breath away for a second there, though, because it was, you know, giving her family information, you know, where it'll have family members and all of that. And it was like, it said that Donna was the daughter of, okay, and then it said that she was the daughter of Donald and Myrtle Norton. And that just really freaked me out, because yes, Norton is my married name. It is not my maiden name, but my parents are Donald and Myrtle. So, I mean, it was one of those, your breath kind of goes, you know, it was kind of spooky. It was kind of spooky, I admit it. It scared me a little. But I try not to worry too much. I mean, I don't really have anything to hide, and if anyone ever tried to, like, search me out, find me, stalk me, whatever, I know how to handle myself. You know, so, you know, it's kind of one of those things where I saw a thing on Facebook and I giggled because it's true. It said, these doors are locked for your protection. So, yeah. That's kind of how I feel about that. These doors are locked for your protection. And I hope I never have any, you know, serious issues that I would regret letting personal information out. But, you know, I knew when I started this YouTube channel that you take a risk anytime you put anything on social media. That was my little spooky for the day. And it did. It felt really spooky to read that. My Blick order should be here soon. It's out for delivery. I'm very excited about that. I did order the 96 the 96 Blick Studio markers. I took the plunge. I got the brush markers. And I'm excited to try them. I used to try to do a lot of marker blending, and everything that I've, read says that it's, and I was getting okay with marker blending. I haven't done it in so long. I've been straight coloring so much that I'm kind of nervous about the marker blending again, but everything I read said that it's so much easier to blend with the brush markers. And since I've been doing started doing Tabby Tuesdays, and I'm actually printing PDFs, and I will probably get other PDF books now, since I do have that. So I thought it might be neat to trying to see where these wings end. I thought it might be kind of neat to try to have a set of brush markers to play around with and work some with and see how I like that, since I'll be able to do it on the paper that I would prefer, because I don't like, I know there are several people who have said that that it's okay to put your brush markers down onto the toothier paper like we find in, like our Amazon books and things like that. For me, I don't want to do that. I don't want to risk it, because if I put a lot of money out on something, I want to keep it, nice. And the nibs are very expensive when you start looking at replacing them. They get very, very expensive. And so for me, I don't want to risk that, because it makes perfect sense, a toothy paper, and if you're constantly rubbing your brush nib across it, it's wearing. It is wearing down the nib. And it doesn't do so much damage. It doesn't do too much damage on our the budget-friendly nibs, because our budget-friendly nibs are made just so much stronger. So it doesn't do as much damage to if you get the more expensive markers, the idea is to refill those markers, and therefore you need those nibs to last, longer. Where with our budget friendlies, once the ink's gone, the idea behind it is that you toss it and start over with another marker. So it really doesn't have to last as long. Now, we've established that you can refill your budget-friendly markers, and that is what I plan to do. So that's yet another reason that I really don't want to, put brush nibs and stuff down. But I don't know. I just want to be, careful, I guess is what I'm trying to say, when I spend a lot of money on something. So I will not be putting that particular, you know, those markers on to say toothy paper like this. So what have you guys been coloring? I've got some whips going again. I do. And they're driving me crazy. I don't know, guys. I can't do these whips like some of you do. I just can't. I've tried this and I'm like, I got the whips caught up that I had from the other day. And now I've got whips again, and I don't like it. So I need to finish those up. But I've been doing a double page spread in World of Flowers that I am really, really digging right now. I hope nothing happens. Oh, I hope nothing happens to send it sideways, because I'm really, really, really liking the way it's turning out. And I would like to be able to finish it up and it look really nice. I was going to go ahead and do my month-end video of all my pictures for the month, but seeing that Gary's not having the surgery on Monday, I may be able to hold off. And if for whatever reason I were to get that double page spread finished today, which I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. But if I were, then I might go ahead and do it. But I really wanted to include it in my pictures for the month of January. So now, I might be able to hold off on that video. I was just so afraid, that you never know how recovery and things are going to go. And I wanted to get as many videos as I could done today, since I was afraid this might be my last filming option before possibly the end of the month. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case now, so I should be able to film Monday, because now he will be working on the 28th. So it may be Monday that I do my month-end videos. Or video, I guess. It's not videos. I have no idea what kind of container these Blick Studio markers come in. I am hoping that it is some type of a container that I can leave the markers in and easily lay them on their side, but yet they're easily accessible, and I don't know what they come in. I'm hoping though, because I really don't have anything to store them in right now. And I had thought about getting, like the trays that you can put the markers in, because most of my use of those would probably be here at the desk with PDFs. But I'm not sure that's what I want to do, because it will take up so much room. I had to get such a narrow desk, and yeah, my desk is really narrow because I needed the extra space in my room. So I don't know that I want that much desktop space taken up with those little shelves. I don't know. They would be pretty. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay. She's done, I think. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Goodness. I am shaking a little bit today. Let's do Mr. Squirrel. And we all know I love squirrels, one of my favorite animals. They're so cute. This marker feels a little dry, and this is why I'm not a huge fan of touch type markers. These are actually my touch news. I decided I was going to work with them because I wanted to give them a chance to be better than touch 5s, but I'm finding apparently there are dry markers even in here in the touch news. My touch 5s were just pathetic. They're truly not that old, and they haven't been used a lot, but you just pull one out to use it and it's just dry. It's just dry. And that's sad. Goodness. I'm gonna have that line there. Let that dry and see how bad it is. As I find one that's a little dry like this, what I'll do is I'll add in some alcohol to try to juicy the marker back up and see. I mean, that's really all you can do other than toss it. And if it's usable, I hate to toss it. So, of course, I have thought about tossing these daggum touch markers straight into the trash can and being done with them. But that is not in my nature. That is just not in my nature. Do you guys have the touch news, and what do you guys think of them? I know that I've heard from several of you who have said that your touch 5s are just like mine were. Just crappy, crappy, crappy. But if any of you have the touch news, what has your experience been with them? I really liked the way those touch cools that were the Janji markers or Ganji markers. I liked them out of the box. Of course, I've still got concerns because they're touch cools. And I think touch cools was before touch 5, I think. And I mean, they may still be making all these. I don't know. Because I don't see how they could not still be making them somewhere. Because markers just don't last that long. You know, like shelf life. So I don't know. But yeah, I gotta sit this marker over to the side. This baby needs some alcohol. This marker needs to get drunk. It needs a margarita or something. Last night we went to Red Lobster, and oh my goodness, goodness, goodness. You know, they've got these $15 meals like 5 days a week now. Not on Saturdays and Sundays, only Monday through Friday. And I think it's from 3 to 6, maybe. But yesterday they had the 4-course feast for $15, and something else. I can't remember. The ultimate seafood or whatever was $20. Yeah, ultimate feast, maybe is what it's called. But I had myself some shrimp scampi, and it was so good. I love shrimp scampi. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. It's my favorite. And I also had some coconut shrimp. Love it, love it, love it. Yum, yum, yum. It was really good. Truly, truly enjoyed that. And we do not, I mean, yeah, we can't afford Red Lobster very often. But we treated ourselves last night, and it was awesome. It was really good. I loved it a lot. And it's very out of character for me, truly. But I just was in the mood, and I ordered a Bahama Mama. And it was delicious. I can highly recommend Red Lobster's Bahama Mamas. Thinking. Okay, here we go. I did have some dead markers in this set when I first got them. And the seller shipped me some replacements. And I complained a lot about those stinking fluorescent ones. Because, you know, they're terrible. And if you ever get one of these sets, don't even waste your time with those fluorescents. Just throw them in the trash. Do yourself a favor. But since I had dead on arrival markers, and I had these guys on the horn anyway, and they were going to replace the bad markers, I was like, I don't want these fluorescents replaced. I said, trust me, the one you send me is not going to make me any happier. Can you possibly send me some green gray 5s? So they sent me like 2 extra green gray 5s. And that's what this is. This is green gray 5. I use my green gray a lot if I'm using, you know, like on wood even. Because a lot of the trees around here, and I didn't notice it until my husband pointed it out, most of our trees around here are not brown. They're actually gray. And green gray 5 is about the right shade from what I've kind of seen looking at them. And so they did ship me some green gray 5s, and I appreciated that. Because that's gonna, you know, I knew that would be, as far as that marker, the best. That I would be, you know, that would be the most that I would be using in the gray. I don't use a lot of grays. I get why they're important in sets. I mean, I understand. But from what I found, when I use my grays, I'm either using green grays or blue grays. Occasionally, I use warm grays. I'm not a fan of black. I think I've told you guys that a few times. You know, because for me, if you use black, all it does is hide line work, and I like to see that line work. I don't like the way a black marker anyway looks against line work. So when I have a situation like that, I'll go in with a dark warm gray as my black, and that works pretty good for me. But as far as grays, my blue grays and my green grays, those are the ones that get the workout. And we're at right about an hour, so it might be just about time to put this up for now. I really want to keep my videos, I don't know, I've tried longer, I've tried shorter, and I think about an hour is where I think I want to be. I know there's a lot of you out there that would let me go as long as I wanted, and I appreciate that so much. And I know a lot of you like the longer videos because you sit in color to them. But I think a good happy medium is where I want to be. You know, some people like the longer videos, some people like the shorter videos, and I think if I keep them about an hour, it's a happy medium. And I can generally come up with plenty to talk about for an hour. It's generally the last, you know, it's been taking me about 2 hours to do like these full pages, and it seems like by hour 2, when I start that second hour, that's when I start getting quiet. And yeah, so okay. Of course, it'll drive me crazy having this as a whip, so so there's the question, do I finish it off camera? Do I come back and finish it on camera with you guys? So here we are, we've got our little fairy, and then we've got the squirrel with his little nuts and the tree bottom. And that's about where we're at for now, and I think I'm going to stop right here for today, and we'll see what I decide to do. If you see this picture completed at the very end of the video, you know that I did it on my own and just took a picture for you guys and shared it. If there is not a completed picture at the end of the video, then look for part 2. Alright guys, thank you for watching. To my new subscribers, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so happy that you're here, and I hope you will make yourself at home. and I hope you enjoy your time. Please like my video, share, subscribe if you have not. We are getting so close to the 1,000 mark, guys. I already have the giveaway prize. It is already boxed up. It is waiting for the winner's address to be added so it can take off to the post office. So that's just waiting and waiting, and I think we are 35 people away from 1,000. Yay! Alright guys, so I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace, love, and happy coloring. Bye guys.